Welcome back to the News and Books podcast, where we dive deep into aviation stories that make you look twice at the skies. I'm Eric, and today we're talking about something every frequent flyer has probably experienced but never quite understood: the hard landing. Was it an accident, or actually by design? To unpack this, I'm joined by Captain Denzel, an experienced commercial pilot and flight operations trainer with over 15,000 hours in the cockpit. Captain, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Eric. Great to be here again. You know, hard landings always get people talking, and sometimes panicking, but the truth is, not every hard landing is a mistake.
Let's start with the basics. What exactly qualifies as a hard landing?
Technically, it's a landing where the vertical speed, that's the rate of descent, exceeds what the manufacturer defines as normal for the aircraft. For example, on a Boeing 737, a firm landing might be around 2.0 G, but anything above that could be classified as hard and might require an inspection. However, and here's the interesting part, pilots sometimes intentionally make what passengers perceive as a hard landing, especially in bad weather or certain runway conditions.
That's surprising. Why would a pilot deliberately land hard?
A few key reasons: wet or short runways. A firmer touchdown ensures that the aircraft's wheels make solid contact with the ground quickly. That activates the anti-skid brakes and thrust reversers sooner, which helps stop safely. Crosswinds. When the wind direction doesn't align perfectly with the runway, a controlled firm landing prevents the plane from floating or drifting sideways. Autoland systems. When the autopilot lands the aircraft in low visibility, it often results in a slightly firmer touchdown than a manual landing, by design. So sometimes, what feels like a slam is actually the safest way to land that day.
Alright, so not every firm landing is bad, but sometimes they are accidental, right?
Exactly. Unintentional hard landings usually come down to one of three factors: weather and turbulence. Sudden downdrafts or wind shear during the final approach can rapidly push the aircraft down. Pilot misjudgment. Too fast or too slow an approach can result in poor flare timing. That's the part where the pilot gently raises the nose to soften the touchdown. Mechanical issues. Problems like a faulty altimeter or uneven flap deployment can also cause harder than normal landings. When that happens, maintenance crews must perform hard landing inspections. They check for stress fractures on the landing gear, fuselage, and wing roots, areas that absorb impact.
There have been some famous hard landing incidents over the years. Any that stand out?
Yes, several. One notable one was Asiana Airlines Flight 214 in 2013 at San Francisco. It wasn't just a hard landing, it was a crash landing due to a low-speed approach and poor visual reference. But there are also routine examples, like Ryanair in Europe. Passengers often joke about their hard landings, but they're usually deliberate for quick runway contact and safety compliance. So not all hard landings are negative headlines.
Let's talk about the aircraft itself. Are modern jets designed to withstand these impacts?
Absolutely. Aircraft are incredibly resilient. The landing gear is built to absorb forces far greater than a typical landing produces. Planes undergo rigorous drop tests during certification, where engineers literally drop the fuselage from specific heights to simulate hard landings. In fact, every landing, hard or not, is logged by the aircraft's flight data recorder. Airlines use this data to track trends and determine if maintenance is needed.
From a pilot's perspective, what does a hard landing feel like inside the cockpit?
It's definitely a jolt, but more importantly, you feel it in your instincts. The immediate thought is, was that within limits? Then we check the aircraft systems, the log, and inform maintenance if it exceeded the threshold. It's not about ego, it's about safety and accountability.
Let's touch on what passengers think. Why do you think so many people associate hard landings with bad piloting?
Because it's the only time in the flight where you feel contact with the ground. Everything else is smooth, takeoff, cruise. So when that bump comes, it feels dramatic. But sometimes, that bump is what saves you from hydroplaning off a runway.
So, Captain, final verdict. Are hard landings mistakes, or are they part of flying?
They're both, depending on the situation. But if you're on a commercial flight and feel that firm jolt, don't be alarmed. It's often intentional, a calculated move to ensure your safety.
Well, there you have it. The next time your plane lands with a thud, remember, it's not always rough flying, it's smart flying. Thanks again to Captain Denzel for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button and check out our past aviation deep dives. From black box mysteries to why planes dump fuel mid-air. I'm Eric, and this was the News and Books podcast. See you in the next one. And may all your landings be smooth, or at least, intentional.